All right, everybody, welcome back. Today I got for you guys a new edition. So this would be Emerson Knives CQC 15. Let's talk blades, everybody. That's what we're into today. Yeah, I like Emerson Knives. Not very many people do. There's a lot of people that, I shouldn't say that. You get the right wing and the left wing. You get people that love it. You get people that hate it. I'm one of the people that it kind of grew on me. I didn't really like it at first, but there's a lot of good reasons to like it. And, you guys know me. I'm trained in the knife fighting martial arts, so one of the main things that I really enjoy are fighting knives. So anything and all things that are combat or, martial type blades, I'm into. That's just what I like. I would never by any means tell anybody that they should get a knife for self-defense, but if you're good at using something in self-defense like that, it could be anything, It could be a handgun, it could be pepper spray, it could be a taser. Be a butter knife if you know how to use it as one, all right? I'm not going to judge you, but these knives are just really cool for what they are, and Emerson knives have been known to be kind of the martial type blade. So this one comes in this nice box as well, as you can see this. Now this is a newer purchase, okay? Some of their older stuff was not like this before. With that being said, I'm going to show you kind of the box itself, because this is kind of new for me. This box, I don't know, this is... I haven't purchased an Emerson in quite some time. So, yeah, that's what you get throughout the box right there. They are a bit hefty in price, I do have to say, but they are handmade. So, right here in America, using American materials, it's a really, really awesome thing. But not a lot of people like Emerson knives because of the fact that they use not so great hardware. And fit and finish was kind of an issue in the past. And when you're paying Benchmade price tag type prices, you expect the knife to be top of the line, or at least a very, very good build. And Emerson has been lacking in the past, sadly. But that still didn't stop me from liking their knives. I still very much enjoy them. And this is one of the exceptions, obviously. Now, my CQC 15 that I have featured on my channel has been blacked out, all tactical, ninja'd out, all right? Now, this is the satin blade with the stonewash finish, all right? So, I chose this one to be half serrated because I want my knife to be well-rounded. I want it to be a self-defense tool as well as an EDC. I also want this knife to function in any task I want to put it up against when I'm cutting through something. I want to make sure that if I need teeth, I have teeth. I got belly. I also have a scraping Tonto edge right there, so this thing has the glory of everything that I look for in a decent knife. It's got jimping up here. The ergos on this thing are fantastic. That's one of the reasons why I love the CQC 15, because of its overall ergonomic feel. And another reason why I love knives like this is because you got that open pillar construction, which means it'll be easy to clean. And this is, great for that. Now, there's a couple of downers on this knife. Obviously, you have your Phillips flathead pivot, which not a lot of people are digging too much, and I don't blame them. And you got your Phillips regular hardware right here. Did I say Phillips twice? If I did, I apologize. I'm a little tired right now. Now, these parts right here have improved. I've noticed that... Just little subtle things. They don't look as cheap, and they don't feel as cheap, basically, is what I'm trying to say, without going in-depth on anything too small. Their lockup is about 40 to 50% there. Now, to some people, that's probably a no-go, but to me, it doesn't bother me too much. As long as the lock works, I can care less. 154 cm blade steel, so yeah, that's pretty good. I really do like 154 blade steel. It's good stuff. Benchmade's had the same blade steel, so can't go wrong there. On the blade, it says Emerson Knife CQC 15 made in the USA, wave feature. And you got the number right there, so you got two little serializations, even one underneath that thumb plate right there, 3818. Now, this is a really smooth opening knife, which also means that I've also hinted at the fact that in the past, whenever I got a knife like this from them, it was a bit gritty on the opening. Now, yeah, that could be due to the fact that, the factory, their washers are probably not as clean, or they get a little dust in there, or maybe there's some metal particles in there. Whatever the case, they did a really good job with this one, at least. Everything seems to be nice and smooth with the opening. So their washers, now that's without wrist flick, obviously. Their washers are really smooth. Everything about this knife just seems to work, and it works well. Now, I spent a pretty decent amount of time on this knife trying to figure out if there's any flaws to it, just to see if they've really improved, and they really have. I don't see anything that's... just the fit and finish is really, really improved very much. I don't see uneven anything. Everything's nicely rounded off and chamfered. Everything feels great. It just doesn't appear to me like they're lacking anywhere. They've gotten better. So hats off to them. Ernie, you keep, doing your thing with your knives, and as consumers, we will keep purchasing. Now, the price tags are obviously a little bit ridiculous, but you do get what you pay for, at least through my opinion on this. I really do enjoy Emerson knives. I still have my whole collection. I just gave away one recently to a good friend, just to give him kind of, a little bit more of an edge on his carrying capabilities. So sharing the love, that's what we got to do sometimes. But I'm really happy to gain this one. My CQC 15 was all blacked out, and I was just kind of tired of it. It looked really, really... I just needed an upgrade, and I really, really liked carrying the CQC 15 a lot. And I was like, you know what? I really want one in satin. So I got this one just recently. And what's really strange, I know you guys are probably looking at this pocket clip and asking, did that come with it? No, it did not. This was a separate purchase that I had to do because the original pocket clip, and I'll show you guys right now. It's right here. The original pocket clip, if you can see it, it actually has Emerson stamped on the pocket clip, which is highly unusual. If I can get it on camera, there it is. Which is highly unusual. In the past, when you get an Emerson knife, you just get a plain blacked out pocket clip with no stamp on it. So this stamped pocket clip you actually have to pay separate for. It's like $16 or something like that, $16-17 just for the pocket clip. This came with this. So if you go on their website and you go to their spare parts or their pocket clip section, you will see this pocket clip for sale for that. Which I think is a little bit weird. I don't know if they're running low on parts, or maybe they just, they're starting to do that now where they're going to leave the Emerson stamp on there. So that way, because most companies have their insignia or their logo on the pocket clip, so why not, right? It just makes more sense. I really do miss their pocket clips that have like the big old silver chunk on there, like a skull or something. I always thought that was really cool. I never got around to buying one of those because they were ridiculous in price. They were a few $100 just for the pocket clip alone, but they were using precious metals in that, so I can kind of understand. But at the same time, not worth the money. It's a freaking pocket clip, Why? I don't get that. So, in order to kind of alleviate some of the pocket shredding finesse that these knives have been known for because of its very aggressive G10, I went ahead and purchased the Lowrider pocket clip. That's what they listed under, Lowrider. Pocket clips for the Emerson knives, and it comes with 2 screws, not 3, but it works just well, and it keeps the knife nice and low. It comes in 2 colors. It comes in this one and all blacked out, which I've purchased the blacked one before, and it's on one of my other Emersons. This one is the more current one, simply because I really like that skull logo on there. I think that's a really nice touch. So with that being said, this knife has really, really excelled in my expectations. The barrel spacers, or standoffs, as well as anybody could say that, that's really nice about these. They kind of stand out. They look really nice and chromed out in certain places, which is unusual. My older Emerson knives didn't have that. So they had the standoffs, but they were all blacked out in some cases, or they were just kind of like a matte finish. You know, this actually looks nice. It's clean, you know, very, very, very clean. I've noticed that there's a lot of less factory worn marks on the blade, because I've noticed that on my past Emerson knives, there's always scratches or just in like an unfinished area where a worker didn't really take the time to buff it out or clean anything out. I'm used to that, but this is actually nice and cleaned out. Like, it actually looks, they've made this look all antiqued on the inside of the jimping in there, and on the inside you can tell that this is all darkened metal in here on the blade where the pivot is. So they've really done a good job on making this look a little bit better than what I'm used to in the past. So, and I've drawn this out of my pocket using this particular pocket clip, and it alleviates a lot of the pressure, so it's not going to be as pocket shreddy as it used to be. So I don't need to oil this up. I don't need to put any type of pivot lube in there to try and get this thing to be smooth. It's already smooth out the box. I give this knife 10 out of 10, to be honest with you, especially coming from the company. You're spending good money on a knife. You're going to get a good knife out of it. So I'm actually really surprised. I'm very, very kind of, I was impressed. Even the pivot and the hardware screws, everything looks a little bit more sturdier. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just looks like it's well worth the money that you pay. So these are really awesome. I really, really do like Emerson's, you know, kind of thing that they're going on. And you don't have to buy this as a fighting knife. You can buy it as an everyday EDC. It's built for that. You got titanium liners in there. I mean, that's strength, you know. Now, not a lot of people's going to agree with that. They're going to be like, titanium's like any other metal. It'll bend after enough force or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it, dude. I understand. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this knife is built to do good things, to be, you know, it's not your average $20 knife is what I'm trying to say. You know, if you want one of those, go to Big Five. Get yourself a real cheapie. Falls apart within a couple months or maybe a year, and you're just going to be right back there purchasing another one. This is not bad quality. It's not. Although I have experienced in the past from this company bad quality knives, and I still have them. They're not, you know, they're not unusable. They are still very, very usable. But I've experienced blade stick, lockup issues, a little bit of pivot play. There's no blade play in this whatsoever. Everything on this knife is very well fitted, and everything looks even. It just, they did a really good job on this knife. So I'm really blown away by it. And the fact that it looks like this, it's very attractive. So I'm not going to say anything bad because there really isn't anything bad to say about this. The one thing that I will have a little bit of an issue with, if anything, is the texturing on this. It's still aggressive. If they were to try and, I don't know, kind of scale down on their pocket, if you see that right there, that's a piece of my skin on this textured G10, this aggressive G10. So if anything, they could probably make this just a little less aggressive, but I guess that's kind of Emerson's trademark, having aggressive G10. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into the scale. I'm so sorry. What am I doing? Get into the specs of this knife. But before I do that, I want to show you guys the book that you get with it. Okay, so you get this just in case you're wondering what this is. You do also get a sticker. I'm already currently using that sticker. It says Emerson Knives on there. So it has everything. You know, it teaches you about the Emerson Wave. It teaches you care and maintenance. Everything you need to know about the knife. It's here. So this is really important information. Obviously, we also got technology for that. So if that's useless to you, then I'm sorry. Anyways, we'll get into the specs of the knife. I'm going to go ahead and show you the weight. Comes out to 5.32 ounces. So yeah, it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's a little over 5 ounces, which isn't bad. Could be worse. I've carried heavier knives. And we'll get into the length of this blade. So it states 3.9 ounces, or 3.9 inches. So right at where the handle starts, you're looking a little bit less than 4. With an overall, it wants to be close to 9 inches in length, with a cutting edge of 3 3/4 or 3 7/8, depending on whether or not you want to count that. But yeah, it's just under 4 inches. Just a smidge, hair under 4 inches. So this, isn't as scary as some of the bigger knives. But you know what? This would be a good hard use knife for everyday tasks, I think. But, that's entirely up to you and how you see it. For the handle, you're looking at a 13.4. And on the blade, you're looking at a 3.0. If that means anything to you. So, overall, this is a great knife. Now, the price tag on this knife is going to, kind of set you back. I think it's like $260, give or take. But that's how much I paid for it because I needed this. I wanted the serrations on there, and I also paid for an extra pocket clip, which, aren't really cheap. So this is a great knife, at least to me anyways. I really like the ergos on it. I really like how it locks in the hand. You have these 2 prongs on the handle, so that way it actually keeps your hand from riding forward onto the blade or backward off of the handle itself. But mud, sweat, or blood, this thing is aggressive enough so it doesn't slip out of your hands. And that's one thing that I really like about Ernie Emerson and how he designs some of his knives. He makes it to where it's functional. It might not be pretty, but it works, and that's what it's made to do. Not a lot of people like thumb discs, but you have that option to remove it if you don't want that because it's got that little screw in there. And you have that wave feature, so... One of these days, I need to do a wave feature video for you guys so you guys know how each and every wave opens up on every knife that I have. I think I'm going to do that sometime. That's just something that I've been planning on doing. I need to do that. Because there's different wave opening methods on different knives that use it. They don't really call it the wave because, Emerson owns that. But this is what Emerson's known for. So, what is their saying? Famous in the worst places. That's a pretty bold statement, But these are, Marshall blades, but can also be used as just regular everyday, These are really cool, really awesome. They feel great. I know these things can take a beating. If you guys don't want to pay the price tag of these, you can always go to Zero Tolerance and Kershaw. They have some cheaper options and better, in my opinion, better options as far as fit and finish if you want that extra finesse, if you know what I mean. But Emerson knives are great, man. It just depends on the blade steel. It depends on the quality and all that good and happy jargon. But I'm going to leave that up to you guys to decide. If you guys want to give him some love or just check out his website, go ahead and go to emersonKnives.com. You can Google it. It'll just pop up, and it's one of either the first or the second thing that comes up on Google. Check it out. I know when you see the price tags, you're probably going to turn away and run, but they're not as bad as going to a custom knife maker, spending thousands of dollars on a folding knife, which I have not yet to do, and I don't plan on doing because that's just too ridiculous, man. But a few $100, it'll get you a decent knife, and this is a decent knife for that kind of money. Anyways, go ahead and slash that like button, stab that subscribe, slice that bell icon so you guys know when I post new stuff. And in these craziest of times, everybody, please be kind, be safe, carry responsibly, and I'll see you all awesome people in the next video. See you later.